Hey guys, what's up? So yeah, Marvel news, Chadwick Boseman passed away. Rest in peace. At least that's the news I saw. Sounds like you guys heard the same thing. He did a great job bringing Black Panther to us, making Wakanda real. And I think the Black Panther movie was an amazing movie. But I think that's what I read. If it's real, sounds like you guys heard the same thing, right? So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. See if I can refresh this page. Make sure I get all the chat. So I've got notification that figures that are coming are Hawkeye, Rocket, Black Widow, Endgame, Spider-Man Homecoming, and there's one I'm forgetting. War Machine Mark 6 are all coming. Top of that, I still have the Jawa and Gonk Droid, the Thanos from Infinity War, or Endgame Thanos, and Deathstroke. I got the S25B Phicen, and I bought two of these Marvel Rising made by Hasbro because I wanted to get the outfit here and turn them into a Phicen. So I figured, let's do that. So I tried it already on a regular size Phicen, and it doesn't fit. I then put it on a Peggy Carter, just to give you a sneak peek here of what we're going for. The Peggy Carter body was made by, oh God, I don't remember now. Anyhow, it was an articulated body with the joints and everything. I just hated how it looked on her stockings, fit on her knees and such. So it fits the Peggy Carter, okay? Kinda. The arms are a little long. But this S25B is literally 2 centimeters shorter than the standard Phicen figure. I just put that away. As I was saying, it comes in 2 versions. This, or I've seen 2 different versions of this Ghost Spider figure. One of them comes with a casual clothes, and one of them comes just as a suit. Now, I don't remember which. I think the casual clothes one comes with the gray netting, and the one by itself comes with kind of a green netting on it. Other than that, they're pretty close to each other. So there's 2 differences in that. So we're going to do the green one here on it. You can't put this on a standard Phicen that's going to be too tall. This 25B is perfect in height and in bust size. Her skin from the bullet head figure is yellow. So she doesn't work on the tan or on the pale. So if you're wanting to use her regular hands, then there's going to be an issue. Also, on the 2 figures, why do I keep wanting to put her away? Let me just keep her out. Okay, so on the one that comes with the clothes, She has hands on her, okay? Flesh-colored hands. Now, the hands on the one that come in the clothes are, let me get my thoughts straight here. Okay, so the difference between the two dolls, okay, the one that comes without the street clothes has an articulated elbow. The one that comes without the street clothes does not have an articulated elbow and has built-in hands. It's all one arm, all the way down from shoulder down to the fingertips. This one has an interchangeable hand. The interchangeable hand, though, is one of those where the peg is built into it. So you can't interchange it with the Phicen. So you can't use her pink and white gloves that come with that. Let me show you. She comes with pink and white gloves, but they have the built-in post. So you won't be able to put that onto a Phicen doll. All right. Peggy Carter has non-interchangeable posts. So as I was trying to pull the post out, I broke it. So I'm planning on keeping this in this outfit, and I'm going to put these gloves in here with the web shooters from the bullet head Spider Gwen that I have, and then they will do away with the majority of that wrist there. So this will be fine for this, and once I drill out that post, I'll be able to put these hands inside of it. So this is the bullet head sculpt on top of the Peggy Carter body, just a standard articulated body. If you look close, you'll see the knees are there, the elbows are here, all the little joints. It's not a seamless Phicen body. Now, I'm not a big fan of these boots. Both of these figures come with the same boot. I've got to figure out something to do with the boots. I might leave the boots, I'm not sure. You want to use the high-heeled feet with the boot, and that even works out even better because Peggy comes with high-heeled feet. And the boots have this giant crack in the back of them. It's designed so they can go up over the foot. Now keep in mind, you're talking about a $10 toy or whatever, $15 toy. It's not designed to be a hot toy. It's not designed to be perfectly beautiful in every aspect. It's designed to be played with. So that's how they went around being able to put this boot onto this shoe. And it looks kind of funny, you know, but it will, if as you play with it, for the most part, kind of seal up. And besides, you know, as it stands, you're probably just going to pose her in this manner. With this outfit, though, and I think probably on the other one too, no matter, the pants are going to be too short for you to put anything else in there. We'll find out more so on the Phicen. I've not put this 25B Phicen, not put the suit on the 25B yet. I tried to put it onto a 17B, I think it was a 17, and medium breast kit, and it was just too long, too big. It didn't fit. It couldn't stretch up over the shoulders no matter what I tried. Also, this outfit has this huge hole in the back of the hoodie. Again, that's because it's designed as a toy, designed for you to be able to take the hood on and off the figure in order to dress and redress her. So that is there, but when you have it down on your figure, it's not noticeable. It's not really a problem. So I love this suit, and this is the gray side right there. I think it's a great suit. See if we can get some light on this. I think she looks great. And this is just, like I said, just a regular female body. So it's not a Phicen body in this. And it works well. Peggy Carter body does, because it's not necessarily too long. And I used the bullet head leftover pieces. This is also important. I'll show you in a minute when we start doing this Phicen. So she's going to get these hands here. The right one is a kind of a relaxed hand, and the left one is the web shooting hand. And that's what she's going to get, and she'll be done. And there's the little bottoms of the little shoes. And the suit is not restrictive, so you can still pose her well. You can put her into any type of spider pose that you feel inclined to do. But for $70 for a figure, Phicen figure, and $10, $15 or whatever for this Marvel Rising, you're going to get an amazing Spider Gwen. I'm using, again, the bullet head sculpt, because you get two of them. If you were to buy that bullet head Spider Gwen, you get the helmet and you get the head. And whatever one you use on your bullet head Spider Gwen, you use the other one on this. This is the, of course, the other helmet. And yeah, I bought two of the Spider Gwens. So let's get to business. Let's see. Good morning. I'm so bummed. Black Panther, cancer. Yeah, I didn't know it was cancer. Thanks for keeping us up on that, Robert. Happy Saturday. Thank you very much. Currently touching up by Arnold. Nice. Random place with Dan. Yeah. Oh my God. Sorry to hear that. I still want to get that Rambo. Yeah, it does. Setting up my Detolf. Oh yeah, I'm got good work going on that. I don't know if you can see them here. You might be able to. McClane, Dirty Harry, then Bond, then Neeson. Nice. They just bought a Judge Anderson. Waiting in the mail from Dread. Why am I putting this back in the thing? Just keep her right here. Phicen swap. You know about the Black Panther? Yeah, thanks, Toy Mafia. Thanks. It sucks. Gonna kind of hurt watching those movies. Yeah, right. Made her thick, them thighs. Let's see. She's looking thick. I love it. CBS Sci-Fi, how y'all doing, man? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you happen to be. Thanks for tuning in. I had planned on unboxing Thanos, but when all this came together, I was like, let's do this. This is what I really want to play with in my collection. So again, this head is not designed to come off either. That's why they put that cut in the back of the hood. And this is, just a kid's toy, really. So I have absolutely zero need for her. I'll happily put this into a package and mail it out to somebody if they need if they need this here in the United States. I'll mail it to you for free. If you're overseas, I'm gonna have to ask you to pay for the shipping on it. But gosh, you can probably pick this up for $10. I can't imagine anybody needing that. Maybe 20 bucks tops. But it's a cute figure. So the only thing I hated about how Hasbro put this figure into this packaging is that they used those little plastic tie downs, more or less, where they actually stick it through the cloth and then through the cardboard. So the cloth has these little holes in them already, which is kind of a bummer, because you're like, golly, I don't want this thing falling apart on me now in that regards. This little face mask they give you is absolutely, I don't know what this, maybe you can put it on one of your Maybe you could put it on Miles and he could pretend to be Spider-Gwen for Halloween. I have no idea. It's it's it fits this head sculpt perfectly, but doesn't fit that at all. So this is the casual clothes. This was work getting on here. I put it onto I think this is a 17. I don't remember, but the busts are probably too big, and very difficult to get it on here. A lot of stretching and pulling and tugging. But I'm going to keep this as my Gwen Stacy. Just a Phicen head that came with, I think, the 6 or a 4. I don't remember now what this actually came on originally. This is a Phicen head sculpt. So the two versions of this, Marvel Rising says Ghost Spider, and this says Gwen Stacy Ghost Spider. And that's the two versions that I've seen of it. And just as I was referencing, you see now that I got the figure out of the package, one of them is gray on the sides, and the other one is green on the sides there, or teal colored. But for the most part, the suits are virtually identical. There are some minor differences in them besides that. And then the boots, one has the all black boots with the black bottom. The other one has the white trim with the teal colored bottom. So let's get busy. Colon cancer. Oh, jeez. What a bitch. So we're going to have to, again, with this hole in the back of the helmet, we're going to have to get this as our hood. We're going to get the hood over her head to get the suit off of her. Yeah, the room is longer, actually. I've pushed this back to put my Detolfs in over here. I don't know if I showed you guys this last week. Detolfs over here. And the piece of cardboard is, I broke a shelf and I'm cutting a new shelf. I've got a little plan for that. And there's a Thanos right there. There's the Jawwall Gonk Droid, box of LEDs, a couple of empty boxes, little 1/6 scale Camaro, 1/6 scale Formula style race car, and then redesigned layout of the figures, the Avengers shelf. So yeah, everything's much longer, much longer. Shifted the shelves down, pushed those guys over into the corner there. That's up against the corner now. Slid those guys over, and then just slid these guys over. Move some things around, but that's the work on the room. I have to give you a room tour one of these days. This is the shelf I'm working on. So if you can see this, this is I think it's called the Irks. That's a lighted shelf. It's not actually a shelf. It's designed to go underneath the cabinet, and that whole thing will light. And so I'm going to turn that into a shelf. I'm having to cut it down to make it fit into the Detolf perfectly. So I've done some major cutting on it. Matter of fact, let me just show you that. Hopefully I'll be done with it this week. So right back there is the end piece for it. And I had to cut that up. I mean, totally cut up. Probably a good inch off of the edge of it. This whole back edge here was another inch longer. And I had these little clips on there that clipped into the plastic shelf. And then this are the LED lights that totally light up the shelf. And I have to cut it down to this size specifically. So here's the dimensions that I've got. It's going to be 15 inches wide, 11 1/4 of an inch there, 1/4 of an inch cut in right there, with 3/4 of an inch past that. That total length there was 12 inches. And then you'll put it in here and it will light up. And I put the shorter figures down there. Originally I had the taller figures on this shelf, and I couldn't see them well, so I switched over and put Miles over there, and it works fine. And then the light will shine up like that on it, and it'll be sturdy enough. And I don't know what this was. I don't remember how much it was. $20 or something. I have no idea how much this shelf is going to be. But I broke this one shelf, and the tempered glass shelves cut are not cheap, and you can't buy the shelf from IKEA, evidently, as I was instructed. They don't sell those shelves individually. So if I were to put, like, for instance, on the bottom there, Tank and the taller figures, it'd be great. But Venom is fine as he is right now. So I really don't have the taller figures for my Spider-Man collection, per se. So I'm going to use all the shelves. So I decided to try that as a shelf. And it closes. And of course, all the LEDs and junk are in here. The other little extra pieces of metal that I've cut off are in there for that. So there's a front piece that's missing off of this. This front piece would come all the way out to here. And I'm going to cut this piece of metal totally off, leaving this metal piece on the front of that, because that keeps the light from shining past. You want to stop the light. You want the light to be trapped in this shelf. And I'm going to cut the notch right here, that little 1/4 inch by, I think it was 1.5 inch. I don't remember now. I've got it on my cardboard over there, and cut the notches right there to go around to fit into the Detolf. And that will be what that will be. And that will be that. And I think it'll look great. I'm going to get that done. All right. Let's get back to this. I bought a 1/6 roses. I've got Deadpool holding those. Little bouquet of roses. Wade here just holds on to everything. There's I forget who made those little bouquet of flowers. I thought they looked really nice. 1/6 scale roses. Really enjoyed that. So hopefully that will work for your Arnie. I think I bought it on eBay, or maybe I got it from 1/6 Kit. I don't remember where I found it, but that's a set of 1/6 roses right there that will probably work great for your Arnie, for your Terminator. Oh man, yeah, sheesh. I had looked at the boxes to fit the lift up the Detolfs. They've changed the boxes, so they have different boxes now than what they had before. And I forget the name of them now, and they're not necessarily as sturdy as the original ones were. So if you guys had bought the boxes before to put your Detolfs on to make them higher, it's a different box now. So they're not necessarily as sturdy, in my opinion. And I may be wrong. They may be just as sturdy. So you notice they give her the high heel foot here also. So that's what you'll have to use with these boots. By the way, you can't put the flat foot in here. And again, here's the difference in non-articulated elbow with a connected hand. So that's the difference in the two bodies of these figures. He's only 43 years old. Oh man, what a crying shame. He really did a great job bringing Black Panther to life. He really did a great job bringing T'Challa to us. Good character. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. 2020 really does suck. Thank you about the lights. Yeah, I think it worked well for me. I looked and looked and looked for different kinds of lights, and then I found these, and they said that you can't put more than 3 in a row. I have 6 plugged into one light source. A stick of six stick. I stuck 6 of them together and plugged them into their electricity, and they work fine. They're just as bright. If I unplug 3 of them, they're still just as bright as the 6 were. And I like that with it being all the way up and down as such, it lights everybody on both sides and all the way into the back from head to toe. So at the very top shelf, there's a little bit of a shadow casting. So maybe one across the top would be good, or one of those, maybe a little round center lights that they have might be ideal for that. And I just put the wires right through the top. There's plenty of cable for that. Yeah, it looks, I guess, tacky hanging down behind it, but I don't believe that the wires attract my attention in that regard. So the figures attract my attention. So when I look at there, I don't see the wires in the back. I'm not focused on the wires. I'm focused on the figures. That's what I'm looking at. Now, when you put this type of material onto a Phicen, sometimes it's best to wrap your Phicen in plastic wrap to get it to slide over it. And then you can either try to remove that plastic wrap once you have the suit on the figure, or you can leave it on, whichever works best for you. So what I'm doing is I'm turning the legs and the arms right side in again. By the way, in case you're curious what's going on here. Death comes in threes. Yeah, so who's going to be the next 2, you think? I won't be using this at all. Black on the bottom of what? To highlight the figures more. Whole city power goes out, right? Especially here in California, because all of our power is green power, solar or electric, solar or wind power. So we don't have nuclear backup. we can't bring the power back. So again, this is the S25. So it's the suntan version. I think 24 or 26 is the pale version of this. This is how she comes. And again, from my measurement, when you measure from the bottom of the foot to the top of the neck, the standard Phicen figure is 28 centimeters tall. This is 26 centimeters tall. And if you remember, we had one other Phicen that was also not 28 centimeters. That one was the S29B. So this one comes in at 24 centimeters to the neck, The standard Phicen comes to 26 centimeters to the neck, and the 29B comes to 24.5 centimeters at the neck, and so it's actually a little bit taller. If you remember, the 29B is the one that's more plumper with the larger feet and a little more, I don't know how you describe her. She's not thin like these. She's not model-esque. She's a little more plump. And so she's 24.5 at the neck, which is a 0.5 centimeter taller than this. And she's got the larger feet. Her feet are larger than all the other Phicens around. The measurements on this, compared to the others, as I measured her bust, hips, and waist, are 28. It says 28D, 20-inch waist, and 30-inch hips. These are measurements. I don't know if I would call that a D. I'd say that's probably a C cup, truthfully. But that's what her measurements came to in regards to that. The other important thing about this 25 Phicen is the hands are smaller than the other Phicens. Okay. I'll show you a hand comparison. Not only are they smaller in size, the pegs are smaller. So you can't put traditional or other size hands and feet on her, okay? You have to have the smaller ones. So we're in luck. The bullet head hands are smaller. And I'm specifically talking about the hole that they attach to the peg. The peg is smaller. So not only is the hand smaller in size, on the 29 compared to any other Phicen, the peg hole is smaller. Okay, so this is a specific sized figure, and the feet as well. The feet are smaller, and now not in length, but the peg hole again. So you can't put any of the other Phicen feet onto this. So you're gonna want to keep her hands and feet separate from your other box of Phicen hands and feet when you're doing this. And like I said, fortunately, the bullet head, which is what I'm using to continue the kit bash on there, her bullet head hands will fit. Now, the post is smaller here as well, so we don't get a good connection. It wiggles about. So you can either set it there and it'll be fine, or put a little, what do they call it, the tacky tape, or that tacky blue tack, or whatever it's called. Put that on there or something to stiffen it up to make it sit. But other than that, again, the post is smaller. So everything on this is smaller in that regards. Like on the glass, so they like literally cover the bottom of the glass. Now, I've thought about that as well, especially because I'm using the shelf. Literally what happens when you do that, however, is you keep the light from traveling up and down. And you might think to yourself, well, that's no biggie. It doesn't bother me that the light doesn't carry through. You'd be surprised how much little bit of light makes a big difference in lining up your figures. And on that top shelf there, where Miles has these huge figure bases, none of that light really travels up as well. So it's amazing how much a clear shelf can benefit over a shelf that's been totally blacked out. All right. So again, like I said, sometimes it's best to wrap these with a little saran wrap before putting them in here. Let's see how far we can get without having to do that. Pretty hot and tempting. I think she's going to look really good. It's going to be a new Spider Gwen. This, surprisingly enough, this suit is designed very well for a $10, $20 figure or whatever this she sells for. You get a really nice little suit here. No joke about it. And like I said, with the $60, $70 or whatever this Phicen costs, and the $10, $20 for the this Marvel Rising made by Hasbro doll, you got $100 Spider Gwen. I mean, when's the last time you had $100 1/6 scale figure? What I'm doing is working the body to force the suit to travel up. So by posing the body, it pulls on the suit, and it pulls the suit up. And you can't do this with a cheap suit, something that was poorly put together. That's why I said I'm quite surprised how well they sewed this little $10 suit together. When we get clothing sometimes given to us that just falls apart if you bend it too far. And this is a medium bust figure. This is the large bust figure. You can put, I think a medium bust figure would have been better for this. I just happen to have a large bust figure seamless leg available. I didn't have a medium bust seamless undetachable foot figure available when I put this together. I didn't want to have a detachable foot on this. I want to have the seamless ones. But for this, of course, detachable. And this outfit is a little more closer to the comics than the Enter the Spider-Verse suit was. It's its own suit. Enter the Spider-Verse Spider-Gwen. Definitely her own suit, her own character. This one's a little more close to the comic Spider-Gwen. So we're not doing an into the Spider-Verse Spider-Gwen, even though we're using her head sculpt or helmet, whichever the case, face mask. But for this one, I'm not, because this is like, I don't know. It's not really a 616 Spider Gwen Stacy either. So You want to remember which way you've twisted these shoulders to make sure you twist them back the right way. So again, I'm bending her up to get the suit to come to where I want the suit to come to. And then when I bend her back, then the suit will crawl up the places where it's supposed to be. All right. And of course, in Into the Spider-Verse, Gwen didn't have any web shooters at all. Bullethead includes these web shooters, which are perfect because they'll cover up that little bit of skin there. Let's see. What hand on this one? Let's go with I have to use the high heels. Flat feet won't fit in that boot. Keep these feet and hands separate than the other Phicens because they're not going to go on the other Phicens. Should be hearing a pop. There we go. Maybe with a little bit of finagling, you might be able to get that down there. But again, as you can see, not quite as long as the legs are there. And there's the slit in the back. You'll see a little bit of the slit. Suppose if you wanted to, like I said, you could probably close that up. But I mean, for real, what's really the point? As you pose her, you're probably not ever even going to see that if you decide to keep these boots on her. Almost done. So there's the S25B Phicen figure, the 2 centimeters shorter, 2 full centimeters shorter than the standard Phicen. How's that looking? And you can still see there's lots of material here left as well. So it's not like as if we just put her into this fat body. I suppose if you wanted to, you could, pinch this up, sew it up, whatever, pinch it in. But I think she looks great. And you can see the green versus the gray on the side there. And the medium breasts, I think, are great. Nothing necessarily protruding out. And as you can see, it doesn't just sit perfectly as it is. So there's a Spider Gwen. Or Ghost Spider from the Marvel Rising line. A little blue tack up in there. Put the head where I want it, and we're done. And like I said on this, I'm just going to drill out little pegs and then put these that come with it in there. Go that route with that. You see, she's taller. Or get another Phicen and go that route. One or the other. I think I might go with the Phicen. The butt seam on this is quite noticeable, whereas the butt seam on this blends well. Hard to say. So what do you think? Should we open up the Jawa? Should we open up Thanos for the next hour? Deathstroke? What do you guys think we should do? Thanks for joining me this morning, this afternoon or evening, wherever you happen to be. Sold the homemade suit and kept the drone and stand. I will do this again, but this time I'll need someone lined up before I buy the figure. I need as many drones as I get. You know, you can buy those drones separately, Save-On. They're like $100 or something. Yeah, $105. So I suppose you're getting, I suppose you're selling then the Spider-Man homemade suit so that your drones end up costing you less than the $105. Whole bag of hands and feet. Yeah, no doubt. Whole drawer. Just hands. Just feet. A whole bag full of Tony Stark helmets. Here's my bag of heads. Thanos. Okay, Save-On. Let's do Thanos. First person to speak up. Let's do it, man. Let's get her done. This is the one that comes with the helicopter blade. I don't know what else to call it. So it looks like exactly like a helicopter blade. That toy store's getting sloppy. They're not including an invoice with every purchase now, by the way. Lagging in their duties. Yeah, this is the Thanos that everyone else has already gotten. And mine came last week or the week before. I don't remember now. And I imagine in the next 2 weeks, I'll be receiving the Hawkeye, Black Widow, Redhead Black Widow, Spider-Man homemade suit with the drones, Rocket, and War Machine Mark 6. And that's what I told you guys is going to happen, you know, when we didn't get anything shipped to us for 3 months, 4 months, because of this COVID. They're all just going to come at one time. I'll be unboxing figures for months. The other thing is I'd like to see what Cap looks like if he was holding the Thanos blade. Interesting. It's a little cheaper, but the dynamic stand is a big plus. My Thanos box is crushed at the top. And it was put into a box on its way to get shipped here. Again, of course, as Hot Toys will tell you, they don't give a damn if the box comes damaged. And I was really disappointed on my Doctor Strange figure. The box is damaged because the box is pretty unique on that. So I literally bought a box that a collector was selling because they didn't want to hold on to their boxes anymore, so I could have that neat little spinny thing on there. Here's the cast and crew responsible for this figure. And I have the other two Thanos as well, so I can compare them in size. Of course, the Guardians of the Galaxy Thanos is small, because they hadn't quite fleshed Thanos out at that point. I don't remember. I don't think Josh Brolin was playing that Thanos. Oh, yeah, I did. Oh, you didn't. You didn't order them. That's why you didn't get them. That's why I beat you to the punch, right? I'll clean up some of my toys here. So I can see a lot of purposes for this smaller S25B Phicen, by the way. I don't know if I'll be able to get to my Thanos now. I put all the boxes right in the way. Uh-oh, what did you drop? You dropped your baby Groot. What's up with that, man? Deadpool gets all the toys. Nice. I don't remember having this before. This is interesting. Very interesting setup here. I don't remember ever seeing this. I've seen this type of angled stand before. I think that's how my bullet poison came, my venom came, with a similarly angled, but not with this post as such. This is interesting. And then it has this very unique crotch grabber for this. Bad thing about these specific pieces is these crotch grabbers eventually will bust right through these seams. This is so thin. This plastic here is so thin that it'll just bust right out of this. I don't know how many of these I've had to tape together again to keep them together. Yeah, all the Thanos take up some area. For instance, Guardians of the Galaxy Thanos, right there, if you can see him, takes up like one whole corner. I've got Chitauri soldiers around him, but in that same capacity, I could put easily 6 or 7 of the Avengers in that same area, maybe even 8 Avengers. It's like Hulk, takes up the whole thing. It really becomes your centerpiece. When you look there, you can't help but to see Thanos. The other figures almost kind of blend together into a sea of figures, but Thanos stands out, the Hulk stands out. Golly, look at this thing. It's plastic. It's a beast. I didn't realize how big it was. There it is next to a 12-inch figure. I did not order the last Thanos, the battle damage Thanos. I really was like, how many freaking Thanos do I need? You know, at $400 a pop. You know what I'm saying? So the other side of me is like, yeah, but that Thanos looks pretty good. I just can't see it, man. I just can't justify it. Now, obviously, Save on Mason, a villain collector, or any of you other villain collectors out there, I would imagine that it would be a must-have for your collection. Villains are so difficult to collect, as not every single villain gets made. For instance, we get 4 freaking Thanos with not one single Black Order. You know? We get 4 Thanos and no Yellow Jacket. I'd love to have the Black Order. Love to have the Yellow Jacket. Got Juggernaut. Not by Hot Toys, though. And again, Hot Toys seems to be pulling stuff right out of the air, fabricating stuff that you assume they're never going to make. Like Cable, Colossus from Deadpool, Deadpool's Colossus. And again, I fault Hot Toys for that. I fault Hot Toys for not keeping us informed as to what the heck they're planning on doing and releasing so we can buy their figures. And I'm almost not even buying into the, well, we're not telling you because of industrial espionage baloney. Because all these third-party figures that are coming out, dude, so like, you know, Miles and all that, and Cable, they look just like the third-party figures. So it's like, I think already people are out there just snatching your stuff and making the figures as it stands. So I don't want to hear your excuse that the reason you're not telling the fans what you're doing or sticking to your proposal of what you showed us you're going to do is because of industrial espionage. I mean, come on, give me a break. And I'm also not buying the fact that you can't make enough of them or whatever because, hello, pre-sales, you're not releasing the figure for a year and a half, 2 years anyways. So you're telling me you're not able to sell 100 or 200 or however many it is for minimum manufacturing run? Give me a major break. These little pieces of tape and plastic wrapped around here. The Mark 47's out, huh? Oh my goodness. That's going to be another $400 I have to crank out. I think I ordered 2 of those. Jeez. I tend to get mine 2 or so months after they are released in Hong Kong. So, you guys here in the United States want to get it sooner than Sideshow will finally get it to you, or Big Bad Toy Store will finally get it to you. That's why you have to contact these companies that are in Hong Kong, and you pay a little bit more for it. John Deek has a problem with that. He wants to complain and bitch and moan that you're having to pay an extra $50 or $75 for a figure to be able to get it right now. He bans these other companies because Sideshow cuts him a big deal on his figures, so he's a Sideshow puppet. Sideshow don't cut me a big deal. Hell, the coupons they give me I can't even use on any of the figures. You pre-ordered a figure, you can't use a coupon on that. And the figures they gave you for the coupons are figures I already own. So I don't get a break from Sideshow at all. Now John D gets a figure as soon as it hits Sideshow. And he's going to ban you talking about these other companies on his website, on his Facebook page, because he claims they're ripoffs. They're not ripoffs. they're giving you a figure the moment it's released in Hong Kong. So you want your Mark 47, you can get it mailed to you probably next week. I ain't paying the extra money to get it mailed to me in a week. I'll wait 2 months. Top of that, I don't have the $400 to buy a Mark 47 right now. I'm about to spend $400 on my Mark 6 war machine. Well, that was pretty easy. I hate whenever a hand comes off too easy. You know what I mean? The stand pull does not work, figures. All four perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Yeah, all four hands are perfectly balanced. I love it. Love it. I am inevitable. What a great series of movies. What a great ride we went down with all of those movies. Who would have thought 10 years ago, or whatever it was, with Iron Man and Hulk, that it would turn into this? You know? If turnout on those first few movies wasn't as big as it was, they wouldn't have made all this. And then the beautiful thing of Sony allowing Spider-Man into the universe. Holy smokes. I mean, Sony knows a good thing when they see it, it seems like. They took advantage of that at the right time. Because they could have just as easily said, no, you're not getting Spidey. And we would have not had Spidey in the MCU at all. And I'm very happy that Sony and Disney, or whomever it is, came to an agreement to allow Tom Holland to live in the MCU. And I don't know how that's going to work out with Sony's own Spideys that they're working on. So far, they've seemed to be, with Far From Home and Homecoming, they seem to be MCU, right? So I sincerely think that Sony would be foolish to disregard the MCU with Spidey. And I would love to see how they're going to interact Venom into that whole thing. I'm pleased with the Venom. I forget who's playing Eddie. I forget his name. It's an okay story. It's interesting to see how they flesh that out and get the white Spidey on his chest. He did reference working at the Bugle and having a problem with Jameson. I'm digging this helicopter blade. Thought I would have been able to stand it on its end. I guess I am not. Unless we have him gripping it up here, I guess, with maybe the relaxed pose hand. Let's see, what's this one? The grippy hand? No. I suppose if I really want it up as such, I would just use this relaxed pose hand. It comes with 2 relaxed pose hands. And 2 grippy hands. Choking your hands. 2 fists. And then 2 holding the helicopter blade sword hands. 2 fists, 2 sword hands. We have the helmet. Fits over that head nicely. I like that you can see this little shade of purple in his suit, too. I like that. You see his little feet? And then we've got some great looking gloves here, Infinity Gauntlets. We have an extra head sculpt. So we can have Angry Thanos. And Hot Toys always does such a great job on teeth. Oh, by the way, this figure stand is what Phicen used to include with their figures. I cracked open that old SO6 that I had from Phicen, and this figure stand was in it. I like in Endgame when Nebula reported to Thanos that he had died, but he had died because he was successful in snapping his fingers. Like he said, I could snap my fingers and end all of life, half of everything or whatever, and start over again. He didn't have to snap his fingers. You didn't have to snap your fingers for it to be the magic, incarnation to do it. It was actually a thought. The thought is what did that. But the snapping of the fingers was, how do you say? It was required in order for you to get the impression of the thought. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he said. I could just snap my fingers, because we could say that I would snap my fingers and this place would be clean in an hour or whatever. Or I could snap my fingers and I would instantly be done or something. And so that's where that came from. But it's not like it's necessarily a requirement in order for him to make all of half of everything in the universe disappear. All life, half of all life disappeared. He didn't have to snap his fingers. He could have just thought it. This is nice. I'm geeking out here on the Infinity Gauntlet. I think it's probably the best looking Infinity Gauntlet that I've seen out of all of the ones that have floated through here. So this is the fist one. And then you can pop off the hand and put on a little ratcheted, well, not ratcheted, but opposable wrist. Pop off the fist and put on the hand. And this lights up. It comes with batteries. Unfortunately, you can't get him to actually snap his fingers. You can get close, but you can't actually get him to snap his fingers. The little fingers don't bend down all that way to get a proper finger snap. So it's not going to let him, it's not going to let, sorry, Thanos, old buddy, you're not going to be able to snap your fingers here. Too bad for you, I know. You can get darn close, but you just can't get a good finger snap there. Darn close. Sorry. Sorry, Thanos, no finger snapping going on here. I do want to put the lights in, the batteries in on this, though. I do want to see this lit up. So this pops off of the underneath. You know, it is. The blade's actually longer than a steak knife blade, a regular steak knife. Nice little sandwich. Angry Grimace. He wants his shakes. Bring back, but they killed Killmonger, didn't they? Didn't they kill him at the end of the movie? I need to get that Killmonger Jaguar figure. Jaguar, right? That's what he was, wasn't he? Iron Man, Cap, and Thor. Yeah, to complete the Endgame, right? Might not be able to get this off. Looks like they've tightened down this screw too much. I hate when they do that. They use power drills to put these in sometimes and just crank it further than it needs to be. It doesn't have to be all the way in. We're taking the doggone thing out. There we go. That Thor. You know, I wish Hot Toys would make a casual Thor. I'm not too pleased with the third party. Speaking of third party, MJ is out from Homecoming / Far From Home. She is up for pre-order if you want to add her to your collection. I don't think it looks much like what's her name? I don't think it much looks like the actress, truthfully. But you know who it is when you look at it. But no, I don't think it's a very good resemblance of her. Looks okay. It's not a hot toy. And you know, there's Ahsoka figure from the Clone Wars. I've never seen the Clone Wars. My wife doesn't like cartoons. It took everything I had to get her to go see Into the Spider-Verse. And I think that was one of the last movies that her and I had gone to before she had her cardiac arrest. Last week was her birthday. Told her she has 2 birthdays now because she came back from the dead August 22nd. At first, she didn't like being told that. She didn't like that at all. But then when I gave her some flowers and gave her a nice dinner, that made her appreciate it then. She likes having 2 birthdays now. It's so funny. Even the doctors and nurses at the hospital all wanted to know what she's seen while she was gone. You know, did you see the light? Did you see anybody or anything? You know, what's over there? Because she was gone. There was no heartbeat, no blood, no brain activity. She was dead for over 10 minutes. And she said she didn't see anything. She doesn't even remember anything that happened right before it. Um, she remembers what happened afterwards because we've told her the stories over and over again. But I don't know how much of her memory is her memory from all of that. But it's so interesting or reassuring that even the doctors are curious about life after death. We're all just a little unsure of what really happens to us when we pass on. And whenever you meet someone who's been there, we all want to ask, what'd you see? What happened? What did you hear? What did you experience? And she has nothing to report. And so I guess that's good. It's better than being ripped apart by demons or whatever while you were gone. But no, she was definitely dead. There was nobody there. Nobody was home. No brain activity, no breathing, no heartbeat, nothing. They brought her back before the 20-minute mark. 20 minutes, from my understanding, and I learned all this only because we experienced it. I'm not a medical professional at all, but I guess 20 minutes is the cutoff. If they are unable to revive you before 20 minutes has passed, they're not going to, because the odds of there being severe brain damage at that point is so high that it's just not worth taking the risk. You'll probably just be in a vegetative state the rest of your life or in a coma. So she was greater than 10 minutes, but less than 20 minutes. Expired, dead, not on this world anymore. So I got my wife back. I tell her, thank you for coming back to me. You know? Did a pretty good job with the light. It illuminates all the stones fairly well. Obviously, the middle ones are going to be illuminated the most. Shut some of this off. And when you position the hand, you still have the same amount of illumination. You don't end up losing any of that illumination by posing the hand about. The light works well. It moves with, the light is the pivot point for the wrist. So it works really well. And now it's not as bright as what you're seeing on the camera there. I can actually see the definition of the stones. I think the camera just you lose the stone definition. And here's the finger snap. And as you know, these batteries, they don't last long at all. For real, if I were to leave this on, it'd be dead. And I wouldn't even say it would last 2 hours. I wouldn't even say it would last 1 hour. They really just suck them right down. But there's the hand. I wish that somebody would make a inexpensive AC way to power these, because you got so many figures that get juice. I mean, Soap Reactor made an AC set up, It literally costs $100. Once you got the AC power and the remote control for it and all that, and I don't care about the remote control. I mean, I'll remote control it some other way if I need to remote control it. And $100 a figure. Come on, give me a major break. You know, so it's just not worth it to do that. I couldn't see that. Couldn't see that for one moment. Sadaya. Thank you, Sadaya. Holding the fingers. Let's get the other Thanos over here, too. See if there's any size comparison difference. Sure was easy getting the batteries in here for a change. Unlike putting them into the helmet where you're fighting it the entire way. My goodness. Putting batteries in your Iron Man figures, it's a pain in the ass. This wasn't too bad at all. Figures have had the easiest time putting batteries in. Hulkbuster, Igor, and the Iron Legion figure. Very easy putting the batteries in those. They literally come up with a different way of doing it for the Iron Legion, and I was really pleased about that, and I was hoping that they would continue doing that with the Iron Man and War Machine figures. They did not. It's a really ingenious way of putting the batteries into the figure. Really enjoyed that. Love this little plastic tweezers I got with, what did this come with? It wasn't from Hot Toys. Who was it that gave me this? Which figure was it? Can't even remember now. I sure do love it. I don't know if I'll be able to get Thanos up here. I'll sure try. The new Infinity Gauntlet compared to this older Thanos here, and older like what, by a year, it seems to be more defined and a brighter shade. This one seems to be like brassier. This one seems to be shinier. The new one does. Same mold, same design, but the lines on this are more clear and defined than they are on this. Just a little bit, just enough to make it noticeable. And here's our original Thanos from Guardians. He comes with two apron pieces, the sitted one, and then you put the flat one down should you have him standing up. And we know already that this guy is just wrongly scaled by the way they ended up making him here. So I'll remind you. And I love him. He's on the throne. It works. I mean, look at this. It's laughable. But like I said, at this point in the series, they hadn't totally fleshed him out. So, and of course, if you were to pose him standing, you would use the other apron. So I'm not going to get out. It snaps onto the front. I'm just going to leave it because I'm going to put him right back into his chair. But here he's been fleshed out. So it doesn't disappoint me about this figure. I don't despise this figure. I'm very happy to have him. And he's still in his Thanos armor, you know. We still have him as armored Thanos. Which until getting this, you know, we didn't have an armored Thanos, right? This one's much better, but I still love this guy nonetheless. And you probably can get him for a good price. I don't remember him being that expensive in the first place, truthfully. Not compared to 400 bucks. He doesn't fit the throne well, though. It's almost like the guys that were designing the throne weren't working with the guys that were designing Thanos. Thanos on the throne doesn't fit the throne. It's not a good fit no matter. And no matter, there's no other figure that really fits it well either. It just, someone wasn't paying attention that day. Two teams weren't talking. Somebody working on a throne wasn't working with Thanos. It's my opinion on that. And I don't have a problem with the shoulders. There's a lot of you complained about this shoulder gap here. It doesn't bother me a bit. I'm fine with it. It's even more so defined in this figure. Take off the, look at that. I'm going to talk about shoulder gap. It's even more so defined here. So did I put these on backwards? I did, didn't I? Hell, I don't even know. Well, he has an articulated toe. Did this one have an articulated toe? No, no articulated toe in this Thanos. A little bit of ankle pivot. This one definitely has an articulated toe. So you can put him into a charging position or something to that manner. Got the accessory with the Tony Stark hand there. I've seen someone had made a throne also recently. So I suppose if you wanted to, you could get him into the throne. His knees and hips bend in that position. I will not be putting him into a throne. I have my throne Thanos already. You know, I guess I do like the scene where Captain Marvel gets headbutted by Thanos, and she doesn't even budge. So he takes, I guess it's the Power Stone, removes it, and then punches her or something to that effect. I thought that was a pretty good scene. So you want to, she's shorter obviously than Captain America. Quite a presence difference here in seeing these two next to each other. I might probably enjoy posing Scarlet Witch against him, truthfully. Um, I'm still just blown away by that. That just really got me, touched me when she's like so furious. She's able to channel all her anger from all the years directly at him now, someone she can really unleash on. She's been having this anger and pent up emotion inside of her for so long. She just looks at him and she's like, "You have destroyed everyone that I've ever loved." And he's like, "I don't even know who you are." Oh, what a. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. You know, it was that type of a moment. And he just laughed her off. Oh, ho, ho. What a pisser. What a full on total slap totally in the face. And what makes that even better is he was telling the absolute truth because he was past tense Thanos. Those things had not happened in his timeline. So he wasn't aware of Quicksilver's death and um, Vision's death. So I'm pretty sure this was before even Quicksilver died from Ultron. So um, it's amazing. I don't even know who you are. Oh, what a pisser. I think the armor does look great. I think the armor looks great. No, we don't need this in die cast. This doesn't need to be metal. It's great. It's great. It's great. I mean, how much do you think it would cost if it was made out of metal? He's pushing $400 as it is, or is $400? I forget now. Um, make them out of metal. You can throw another $200 on top of that easily. That's right. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. He's going to sorely be missed as the Black Panther. He certainly will. Yeah. Isn't that funny how small the first Thanos is? Toy Wonderland. There you go. Well, yeah, I tell you, man, I don't have a problem with Toys Wonderland. I don't. I really don't. You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. They sell brand new, but they also sell secondhand stuff that's off the shelf that was in a private collection that you can't get anywhere else. On the other side of the coin, you can pay eBay for it, and you're gonna pay eBay fees, shipping fees, and PayPal fees, and all of that as well. So, I mean, I don't see what the problem with Toys Wonderland is. I really don't. I have bought from them before, and they don't cut me no deal. I'm not getting any advertising kickback from them, contrary to what some people believe. These YouTube viewers that send me messages telling me that I need to send them free figures because I get my figures for free. I've only gotten 2 figures for free. Thank you very much. One of our viewers sent me one. Thank you. I love my Jean-Luc Picard. And the other one I got free because someone tried to rip me off on eBay. And eBay caught what he was trying to do. And they made it pretty clear to him. eBay said, pay for me to ship it back to him, and he can have his figure back. And he said he wasn't paying for the shipping to come back. He wanted me to not only pay for the figure and pay for the shipping and pay the eBay fees and whatever else God else that I paid on that doggone purchase. He wanted me to pay to ship back to him the wrong figure that he sent me. And eBay says, no, you don't have to pay for the shipping. He's the one that screwed it all up. He's the one that falsely represented the figure. He's the one that that didn't sell you what you bought, he needs to pay the shipping for it to go back to him. He refused. eBay contacted him directly and said, you need to pay the shipping. He says, I'm not paying the shipping. They said, well, you have 10 days to make up your mind, or whatever it was. And in the 10 days, he told me, he goes, you need to ship that back to me. And I said, you need to pay for the shipping. I'll gladly ship it back to you. And he says, I'm not paying for the shipping. And I said, I don't give a doggone, neither am I. You're the one that did the mistake. You're the one trying to rip me off. So, he didn't pay for shipping. eBay took the $700 or whatever it was I paid for the figure out of his account and gave it right back to me. And I ended up getting the figure for free. He contacted me for about 2 months straight, telling me how I ripped him off, how I need to do the right thing and send him the figure. He was trying to rip me off in the first place. I wasn't going to stand for it. eBay agreed with me that he was trying to rip me off, and he ended up losing the figure. And it wasn't the $700 figure. That was the problem. I'd ordered a figure that was selling for $700 at the time. And he sent me the Stealth Mark 7, which was not selling for $700. I don't think it ever sold for $700. It maybe did for like a week or two. Maybe. I don't have any idea. And I already had one. I told eBay that. I said, look on your things, you'll see. This is what he was advertising. This is what he sent me. He sent me the wrong figure. Now, whether he did it by accident or on purpose, doesn't matter. The fact that eBay told him he needed to pay the $40 or whatever it would cost in shipping to be sent back to him, and he flat out refused. He lost a figure. He lost a figure that cost him $200 or $300 or whatever. So those are the only 2 figures I've ever gotten for free in all of my years of collecting. So when I'm advertising a company, it's because it just happens to be who I do business with. I get the same discounts available to me that you guys get. 10% off here, save on shipping, doing this there, or whatever, Can't I get this closed? And then one of you collectors out there, you've asked me not to share your name, so I will not. Sent me Jean-Luc Picard, and I love him. Thank you. So those are my 2 free figures. Love my Jean-Luc. He's my captain. Get some room up here. This box is just taking up so much absolute room. See if we can't get Cap fighting Thanos here. That was pretty clever how they did this shield, by the way. Did I glue it on? I think I may have. I mean, not the glove to the shield, but this little piece is designed to come off of the shield. And I think I may have glued it into the shield permanently. I don't remember, but sure is neat how the shield will fold up. Into a smaller piece. Doing something wrong here, keeping it from folding the rest of the way. Oh well, just open it back up. Love this little shield. Pretty cool how they did that. Give that man a shield. Chadwick Boseman. Good job bringing Black Panther to life. Thank you for that, Chadwick. Rest in peace. I need a Cap hand here. Do we have to take this off to put the gauntlet on? Oh, the whole. Hold on now. So I won't be bending this. That I can tell you right now. Cap's shoulders are tight, real tight. I love that he was so strong he was able to pull Thanos' hand back, keep him from snapping his fingers. So imagine a hand here, right? Okay, let's get some imagination here. But yeah, there's a good posable scene. Don't have too much of a bend in the elbow there. It's not bad, actually. I might consider this. I might very well consider this. I really didn't have anything going with Cap. Just had him chilling, holding his shield, and I used to have him holding the spears from the Black Order. I've since have put those on the throne with Thanos. But yeah, I think this might be a good pose. I've got the Infinity War Thanos. You know, actually, that would be an Infinity War scene, wouldn't it? But I've got the Infinity War Thanos up against the Mark 50 Iron Man. No, I still think I'm going to. I've got to find a way to get Scarlet Witch up against him. That's my battle. I think it's Scarlet Witch, or maybe Captain America. Captain Marvel. I don't know. I don't know. Or maybe just have him standing here intimidatingly, just proving that he's inevitable. And I love that how Tony Stark had his famous last words, more or less. I am Iron Man, like the completion of the full circle of things, if you will. I am Iron Man. What a scene. What a full-on amazing scene. But there's your size comparison between these two. It's so funny how in the movies, the magic of movies, they make the character the size that they need to be in relation to the other characters when in comparison to their actual height. I think it's either Chris Evans or Chris Hemsworth are like 6'4", and I think Robert Downey Jr. is like 5'9", which is 7-inch difference, which is like almost a head tall in comparison. And so Robert Downey Jr. would be like this high. Iron Man would be this high compared to these guys. But they have them all right around the same height, all around this 6-foot height, all of them. So the magic of movies, you bring the character to life. It's not necessarily about the actor that's portraying the character. The character is what's brought to life. And I love the magic of the movies. That's why I love so many times the little bloopers whenever you get to see the production crew or somebody walk around that shouldn't be walking around in the background or something like that. It reminds you that you are really just watching a movie, as far as that goes. So here's our Spider Gwen and our Thanos, helicopter blade Thanos. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see what we got here. Well, they raised the price of Black Panther because everyone's going to raise the price of Black Panther, right? They're selling it secondhand. You can't buy them brand new right now, can you? I pay shipping handling from Sideshow. When I buy a figure from Sideshow, the shipping and handling on Thanos was $30. And I live in California, which is where Sideshow is. So you buy it from Big Bad Toy Store, you get it for $4. Sideshow, $30 to ship Thanos. $17 to ship a regular figure. Sideshow charges me $17 to ship a regular figure. I think that's pretty high considering Big Bad Toy Store sells it all day long for $4. So that's my opinion on high shipping. He lost everything. Yeah, he did. I will be getting either Mysterio or Nebula for free at Sideshow because there you go, the rewards. Yeah, right? The more you buy at Sideshow, you do get the rewards back. Just have to pay the $20 shipping. Absolutely. Like I said, I live right here in California. They still charge me 17 or 18 bucks for a regular figure from Sideshow. Big Bad Toy Store is out in Wisconsin or Minnesota. Don't remember where. $4. Best Thanos? I like the armor. So between these three, I like the armor Thanos, this Thanos, so far. Um, the next one may actually be better. I don't see myself getting another Thanos though. I, I struggle with that, man. I really do. I do struggle with that. I enjoy the battle damage beat up Thanos, but it's like golly. If I knew they were going to be making a battle damage beat up Thanos, I wouldn't have bought this one. I'll say that much. But because I bought this one, I won't be buying the battle damage beat up Thanos. And that might change. Who's to say what could happen later on down the road? But at this point, I don't see it. I don't see the need for another Thanos. For me, at this point. I mean, I'd rather spend $400 on a couple older figures, like maybe a Black Widow or a Hawkeye or another Thor or Captain America some of those original figures that I don't have. Tracing some of those down, truthfully. Armor versus Thor, Cap on Iron Man. You need to really bring it to the party, get Star-Lord and doing it hands off. Is that for PlayStation 4? Yeah. Yeah. You would think the distance traveled would be a price difference. If you're not having to travel 3,000 miles to deliver the figure, you would think it would cost less. I would expect paying $17 or $18 if I lived in New York, but I have a hard time justifying Sideshow's price in shipping and handling to me when gosh darn Big Bad Toy Store can send it to me for $4 and they're 3 times the distance that Sideshow is from me. Sideshow's in Los Angeles and I'm in Northern California. It's like 500 miles or something away, 400 miles or something. I don't know. So no, I have no problem paying the shipping that Toys Wonderland charges. And if you pay more for the figure than what it costs, if you're buying it secondhand, you didn't buy it brand new, of course it's going to cost you more. somebody else, someone's having to get rid of it out of their collection. And the other time that they charge more is when it's right now. It's right now, like you said, Mark 47s are out there in Hong Kong. And so they will go and pick up a Mark 47 and ship it to you, and you'll have it at your doorstep in a week. And that's what you're paying the extra money for. So, these guys that have these YouTube channels that get the figures for anybody else, everybody and their brother watches that video. So if I had a figure that no one else had, because I got it first, I would get tens of thousands of views easily. But since I'm the last person on the planet to get the figure, I don't get tens of thousands of views. So some YouTubers justify paying the extra for that because they'll make YouTube revenue from having that figure in their collection before everybody else. Some of you guys want to have it first. You'll pay extra for it to have it first. Some figures aren't sold in the United States and you have to buy them like that. For instance, my Mark 21 Chrome was not sold in the United States at all. The only way to get it was from a Hong Kong retailer. The only way. If you wanted that figure, you had to get it from there. So you had to pay for it. If you decided you don't want to buy it from Hong Kong, you didn't get the figure. And I love that Mark 21 Chrome. And that goes along with my opinion as well, that should Hot Toys re-release the Mark 7 diecast as the Mark 21, then we're going to get the Iron Legion, the rest of the Hall of Armor, the rest of those figures. We'll get them all. That's going to be your, in my opinion, that's going to be your scale. That's going to be, I forget the term, but what you measure everything else by. If that Mark 21 comes out, because it's a simple fix. They take the Mark 7 diecast they've already made a bunch of, paint it gold, cast it gold, sell it, bam, there's the first one of the Hall of Armor, and then we'll get the House Party Protocol. We'll get the rest of them. That's my opinion, because there's many suits that weren't ever made. If they do the Mark 21 Chrome, it's on. It's on. That's my opinion. And I'd like to see the rest of them. I really would. I'd buy every one of them. I would buy every single one of those House Party Protocol figures. Sure would. Kind of says New Jersey cost me $8 to get armored Thanos. Yeah, absolutely. Some of the companies that I've bought from 1/6 Outfitters, I think they're in New York or New Jersey or someplace. Again, of course, 1/6 Kit. I think he's in Hong Kong. eBay, needless to say, some Facebook collectors I've bought on Facebook pages. I've also started shopping the Falcons hangar, and which I think is in Singapore. There's a company called Alter Ego. I've been looking at that. I might order from them. And a company called Giant Toy. I might order from them. So there's lots of different places to get your figures. Sideshow is the official distributor of Hot Toys figures, first run in the United States. A lot of other companies sell brand new figures through their sales. For instance, Big Bad Toy Store. But Big Bad Toy Store does not get theirs from Hot Toys, because Hot Toys Sideshow is the distributor. So that would mean that Big Bad Toy Store would have to get theirs from Sideshow, right? So there must be some sort of bulk agreement that they've got in that regards on ordering a ton of figures and paying less than what you and I pay for them in order for them to be able to resell them. How else would they be able to do that? So I guess that's about it, guys. Go to Patreon. I would love it if you guys send me a tip. $1 a month is fantastic. It just lets me know to keep up the good work, you know. And I listen to you. I mean, I pay attention to what you guys say in the first place. I respond to practically every single comment that's ever been put onto my YouTube channel. I'm there for you guys. If you need an ear or someone to chat with or whatever, hit me up. Send me $1 though, like I said, through Patreon if you enjoy what I'm doing. It's a tip. It's only $1. What's that? What's that? I hope that I'm worth that to you at least. Um, Also, you can hit me up on Facebook. I don't post much to Facebook anymore. I just don't give a damn about social media anymore. I really don't. Sick and tired of it. You know, social media, people are judged instantly on social media. In this country, you're guilty until proven innocent. You know, there's so many sides to a story. That's why we have a justice system the way that it is. Social media has found everyone guilty without any evidence, just from a matter of opinion. And that's not how our justice system works. I'm so sick and tired of just social media. I really am. I see no benefit in social media. So I hardly even pay attention to Facebook, but I do have Facebook Messenger. So we do have that going on. Next week, I don't know what I'm going to do. Either Jawa or Deathstroke or one of the other 5 figures I've got coming in. Maybe we'll talk about this Detolf that I've got finished up. I don't know what's really going on for us for next week. We've definitely got a lot of figures coming in. So I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me and spending time with me. I really look forward to it. My wife is very pleased that we have each other. I have you. You guys, I feed off of you. I hope I bring you content that you enjoy. And the platform is yours. You guys feel free to use it. I have 1/6 scale news and reviews. I'll be happy to make anybody an admin on there. Speaking of stuff that's going on, so the S35 Phicen came with these really cute little latex swimsuit here, bra and panty, bikini, however you want to look at it. And I'd put it onto a different figure. I used my S35 for Daphne, my Scooby-Doo Daphne, and I'd put this on another Phicen. And first one broke, and then the other broke, and then this broke. So I didn't realize that the S35 is so much smaller than the others. So these are extremely fragile. If you get these little latex rubber bikinis, either keep it on your S35 or whatever Phicen that it comes with, or don't use it at all on anything that's larger than that. And I didn't realize that that much stress would break this thin latex rubber band, but it did. I mean, they make rubber bands all day long. People have been making rubber bands for decades. I have no idea how long rubber bands have been around. For years, at least 50 years or more, easily. And so essentially that's all this is just a rubber band, but they screwed it up somehow in the process of it. I mean, I've had rubber bands that are thinner than this that didn't break from being stretched out just a teeny bit. And so these are broken. So be careful with these. They're extremely fragile. If you buy one of those Phicens that have these on it, just be careful with it. That's all I'm going to say. I've tried gluing it back together. It's rubber. I've tried rubber cement. Didn't work. I tried super glue. Didn't work. So in a sense, these are nothing now. Garbage. So unless you guys have an idea on how to repair that. So keep that in mind. Should you buy a Phicen that comes with these little rubber bikini set, you can't put it on any other Phicen. And I will see you all on the next video next week. Thank you very much for being a subscriber also, and share these videos with your friends. That helps out a lot. Give this a thumbs up. That helps out as well in regards to the matrix that YouTube uses to promote the videos. The more likes a video has, the more YouTube is willing to push it. So thanks very much. And love you. I love you guys. See you on the next week. See you on the next program. See you on the next video. Peace.